Yo, what's going on, guys? The Iron King here, back with another Dragon Ball The Breakers video. And in today's video, we're going to be reacting to a YouTuber's top 10 disappointing list. And if you guys don't know, the Angry Joe Show, basically every year he does like a wrap-up of the top 10 best games, top 10 worst games, and top 10 most disappointing. And unfortunately, Dragon Ball The Breakers landed as number 9 in the top 10 disappointing. So that's not the worst. 9 is definitely higher on the list, so it's not like number 1 is the most disappointing, but it did make it on the list. So I kind of just wanted to watch this video and react to some of his comments and see what your guys' thoughts of the video are as well. But yeah, let's pull it up really quick. Here we are. Okay.
Number 9.
Okay, what did you guys think of Dragon Ball The Breakers?
This is not for me. I don't like it. It needs to be balanced out, especially with the survivors. It's like one shot, you're like dead.
Yeah.
So with this criticism, I kind of understand where other Joe, that's the person speaking, is coming from. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know how to level up your Dragon Change, if you don't know about the barriers, you know, healing yourself, if you don't know what active skills to equip, and you start the game off and you immediately die, like, I can kind of understand where he's coming from, because there's also times where, like, you spawn near the raider or you spawn with not many supplies and you just are struggling to get that Dragon Change, and if you don't get it, you can't really defend yourself. And if you have your Dragon Change, if you don't have the grappling hook equipped, you don't have Kaioken equipped, you don't have the Saiyan pod equipped, you don't have some sort of escape active skill, you're basically screwed anyway. Like, the raider isn't just gonna like get bored and leave you alone, right? So unfortunately, the game doesn't really do that great of a job of teaching you how to escape the raider. Like, the tutorial teaches you the basics, planting keys, picking up items, but it doesn't really teach you how to escape the raider. It like shows you fighting for a sec, like in the tutorial, but in my opinion, escaping the raider is more important than anything else. But let's continue.
And it's so hard to revive.
I'm not gonna pause every 5 seconds, but reviving definitely something this game needs to work on. The best way to revive people is with Senzu beans, of course. Like, it's an instantaneous revive, and they're pretty rare. So I really hope they do add some sort of passes or active skills that will allow players to help out their fellow down survivors in the future.
No, I'm not having fun with it.
Dragon Ball The Breakers. Don't get me wrong, a lot of fun can be had with Dragon Ball Breakers in the right conditions. Like, I'm streaming the game, an online personality, and I'm getting 12 other players willing to work at making it fun and run correctly. In that scenario, it's an amazing experience.
Okay,
we
Joe.
actually have enough to beat up the villain. Let's go! Get his ass! Woo-hoo! That's a fun game now.
Yeah, dude, like, hold on. When you're like, there's nothing better than playing a Breakers match and just like bodying a raider with like all your friends, dude. There's nothing more satisfying, just because like there's those games where just raiders dominate and dominate and dominate. But when you find a group of survivors that know what they're doing, they're playing for keeps, it can be so much fun. And I'm really glad that Joe got to experience some of the best parts of the game here.
That was amazing.
Yeah, like, he's having genuine fun, right? And like, that's the thing, the Breakers is fun when people give it a chance.
Kick his ass. He's down to 25% health left. Stay on him.
Like, I feel like that first time you defeat a raider, it's just like, it just like blows your mind, right? It's just like realizing it can be done.
So in this video, I'm showing you every single fucking aspect of the game and what could possibly happen. So in that fucking instance, which is rare, the % chance of that fucking happening for you.
So is this rare? If you're, you know, queuing up, solo queuing, is it rare? Sure. Like, your game is kind of in the hands of your fellow survivors. You can't, that's the thing, this is a team-based game. You can't solo, you can't carry. The only way you could realistically carry is if you if you Dragon Ball Rush. If you Dragon Ball Rush, get your level 4 really, really fucking quick and just jump the Raider and while they're like level 2, maybe. But at the same time, you really, like, even level 4s, they can't just solo Raiders. Like, they're gonna whittle you down little by little. Like, with no help, you really can't solo in this game. You need help. You need teammates. So it's very, very dependent on your allies here. So is it rare? Sure, but this is when the game just released. The game's been out for, you know, more than 100 days now. So most people, you'll run into level 100s like on the regular now. So the likelihood of this is not as less as it was before.
It's low, but it's there.
But outside of that, it is very difficult to get a consistent experience in the game. It
That is
feels
still true.
half-baked. Basically, a mini versus one in the vein of Dead by Daylight. Only here, minimum effort was put in. And why would any more be used in a game from Namco Bandai, which basically just reuses all of its assets from Xenoverse?
So with that statement, right, I feel like it's kind of a double-edged sword where, like, yes, they are using assets, and you could either sit in the ballpark of this being lazy, or you could sit in the ballpark of being like, yes, this is a low-budget game, this is an experimental game, and they can use this low-budget factor, they can use the reuse assets to add more things into the game and make things, you know, fresh and unique, while not putting it in Xenoverse and making this its own thing. So it depends what park you kind of sit in, right?
And previous Dragon Ball games here.
But the graphics are awful. This is like a game from fucking 2001 or something. And I'm just so tired of seeing it. If it was a free-to-play game with its fucking, I don't know, battle pass and gotcha, then maybe you could get 7 friends together and you do your own room, right? And you fight against each other, and that'd be a good day's diversion. But right now, I think the balancing is off, and it's just insulting to ask for, you know, money. I think there's even a $30, $40 version that gets you extra emotes.
So, I mean, if you guys have ever joined any of my streams, do I think Dragon Ball The Breaker should have been free to play? Absolutely. Do I think it should have been crossplay? Absolutely. I think they definitely fumble by not making the Breakers free to play. I think they definitely fumble by not making it crossplay, just because it definitely would have a lot more players right now, even in the drier periods. And it's just like, this game has a gacha, right? If a game has a gacha, you're going to be investing more money past the asking price. So it's just kind of it's not fair, because this game is going to be receiving income over time, forever, basically, with the gacha and people wanting to pull these skills, these super attacks, like, as soon as possible, or leveling up the dragons here. Or just buying voice lines and stuff like that too, right? So with that being permanent in the game, like, the gacha system is never going away, guys. Like, if you think it is, I'm telling you, it's not. I can kind of understand where it's coming from. In terms of the graphics, dude, it's Xenoverse 2 graphics. If you think Xenoverse 2 graphics was like PS1, 2001, I think you're kidding yourself. Could they be better? Sure, but I really don't feel like they're the worst graphics on planet Earth. It's Xenoverse, dude. It's stylized in the Xenoverse style. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's just the way it is, right?
A waste of money.
It has a huge lack of polish, just awful graphics, anti-universe, and a very limited...
I don't know necessarily what he means by anti-universe. I guess the hub world is a little empty feeling. Graphics we kind of already touched on. But, despite Joe's criticism so far, I do think he's being fair. He showed off the fun parts of the game, but there definitely are some flaws. Is the game completely polished? No, I think one of the weakest parts of this game is the melee combat. It really does feel very button mashy, and whoever button mashes first or better, like, wins. It doesn't really feel skill-based. There are some skill-based things in this game for sure, but there is things that need polish, so I can't really argue with that.
Limited a sweet spot where the game is fun, so it's hard to champion. With a
So basically, I'm sorry, I paused there. He's saying that it needs polish. The graphics aren't that great, but there is a sweet spot of the game being fun. So I'm very appreciative that Joe, although he doesn't think the game is perfect and he does think it needs a lot of work, doesn't think it's worth the asking price, it is fun. And I'm glad that he sees that, and I wish more people saw that, because some people just look at this game It's bad. It looks like dog shit. You know, it has a gacha. It's not Xenoverse 3. Fuck the breakers. And I feel like that's just not fair. You're not giving the game a chance. Joe is at least here giving the game a chance.
Bunch of microtransactions to boot. It's a live service game without the service part.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to pause like so quickly, but like he's kind of spitting there, dude. Unfortunately, the game really hasn't been receiving as much consistent updates as I would have liked. We're really getting new transfers once a month, and during this season 2 delay, we've gotten some EXP boosts, any boost. That's really it. A guaranteed summon. Whoop-de-doo. Like, it's not enough, man. In season 2, we need at least, I don't know, 2 banners a month. At least, bro. Realistically, we should have a new banner every single week. Every single week we should have a new banner, bro. That's what they do in Legends. That's what they do in Dokkan, bro. And those games are free to play. Breakers, you need to spend $20, man, or more, depending on what version of the game you get. So the fact that we get new banners once a month is absurd, bro. They need to change this for season 2.
It's the options there to purchase are boring.
8 Gokus, 2 Gohans, no, 4 Gohans, 5 Piccolos, 7 Krillins, 7 Yamchas, 5 Tiens. It's almost as if this is all fucking bullshit and none of it should be here because you're trying to force this kind of thing into a goddamn gacha system when it's not really built for a gacha system. You didn't build it from the ground up with the gacha system. You're just taking the DBZ license and jamming it into the fucking gacha system.
So, Joe doesn't like gachas, and that's fair. But there have, like, I get comments to this day of people saying, yo, Iron, I still haven't gotten Kaioken Rush. Yo, Iron, I still haven't gotten 17's Barrier. And unfortunately, that's kind of just like the, you know, live and die by the gacha system, right? There's going to be people that just, like, have terrible luck, and they're just going to miss out on certain abilities. And that sucks, dude, because 17's Barrier is literally the best active skill in the game. And if you don't have it, I feel for you, man. I feel for you. I was there, bro. I didn't have it for the longest time. But, of course, pulling it feels great. But I wish there was some sort of pity system that allowed players who are struggling and who are continuously summoning and continuously grinding or even putting their own hard-earned money into the game. They should be able to, like, do, like, 10 summons and get 17's Barrier through pity. Like, they shouldn't have to spend, I don't know, hundreds of dollars. You could potentially spend hundreds of dollars and never pull something, bro. Like, that's absurd. No pity. Like, all you get is Spirit, and all you can get with Spirit is super attacks and upgrading your active skills and passive skills. Currently in their game, there's no way to get active skills and passive skills with pity. It's not great, man. It's not a great feeling.
It really ends up feeling like yet another low-effort way to milk the fans of the original Dragon Ball Z rather than...
So, I hate to hear that, but unfortunately, a lot of people share that opinion.
An honest, fully fledged effort to make something unique and true to the series. Still, I will cherish those few games where me and my private lobbies really did show off the best this game could possibly be. But on the whole, and for everyone else, I don't think the Breakers is gonna last much longer.
Yeah, I like asymmetrical games a lot. We play them all the time, and this isn't it. This is another disappointing DBZ licensed game. It's a $20 gacha game. Like, if this game was completely and totally free to play,
yep,
I would kind of understand. I would still be pissed. But this is a $20 game with gacha mechanics where you need to unlock abilities in order to be better at the game.
Yep.
And so it's you can get enough things to try to unlock events, but it can be pay to win, and that's awful. And I'm so tired of subpar DBZ licensed games.
All right, so that's it, guys. Honestly, I feel like they did give Breakers a fair assessment there. It's not like they were completely like shitting on this game, just hounding it and hounding it and hounding it. But, like, they did, try to show the positive lights, but they were mainly critical of the game. So, I mean, the fact that Angry Joe has let me see what his sub count is. He has 3 million subscribers. So the fact that the game is receiving any publicity at all is honestly a good thing. Like, Moist Critical played the Breakers. He absolutely despised it. So the fact that Joe at least enjoyed it somewhat is good in my book. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to bring this video to light, see what you guys thought about Joe's comments, if you thought he was fair, if you thought he was unfair, if you thought there were some things that were unjust that he said. But yeah, I just kind of want to just get your guys' opinion, want to give my opinion. Honestly, I thought Joe was fair. I see where he's coming from. I really do. And I definitely share some of the same criticisms. And I'm hoping that in Season 2 that the game can right those wrongs. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe for more Dragon Ball The Breakers news, updates, funny moments, gameplay, whatever it is, Dragon Ball The Breakers related, I got you. And comment down below what you thought of the video. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.